On. Hey guys.
Hey.
Howdy. Welcome to the episode 3 of Over a Couple of Beers with your boys Jason and Jason.
You don't have to say hi to every one of them.
I know you do. Anyway, he's too busy sipping his beer. So tonight, big night. We're here at Grist House Brewing with the boys from Grist House. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
What up? Yeah.
They
Brian.
can't hear the head nod.
The head nod, yeah. I guess the podcast has picked that up. I thought we were going to be on film. He was talking lights when he walked in.
I'm having enough trouble with the microphone.
No, that's enough to keep us busy for the next few weeks. Hollywood Productions are on its way. I hope you guys have been enjoying the last couple episodes. This is our third one. This is the one where we're trying to reach out to the beer community, get a few more people involved with what we're doing. So that's what we're going to do tonight. As you guys know, our format's a little bit different. We're going to fly a little bit off the cuff, so we wanted to get these guys involved with what we're doing and try to steer away from the standard beer questions that
We already had prepared.
pretty much throw the script out.
Throw a monkey wrench in that one.
Well, we'll kick things off. Kyle, how did you get started in brewing?
Classic question, Jason.
It's going to be
Actually, no, seriously. This came up in pre-podcast setup while Jason was getting the mic going. Dude, what's a kipper snack? Feel free to tell the world.
Oh, Kipper Snack is a smoked herring that is cold smoked and butterflied up the middle and canned for your delicious enjoyment. Eat it with Triscuits and mustard, maybe Louisiana hot sauce. Real decent. Good source of omega-3s. Keeps the eyes wet.
I jumped in
And your,
hand.
and your hands are fairly soft.
Yeah.
We heard earlier today.
$1.20 a can.
Yeah.
Big lots.
Big lots of Big Waldies, everybody.
You heard it here first.
Can you buy this in bulk
Big lots. You can buy 20 of them at once.
for $1.20?
Yep.
I love it. All right, cool. Well,
They had herring there.
if you guys haven't been up here yet, Grist House Brewing, about a year now. These guys have been rolling here in Millvale, and when did I be up to you guys? I think it was July of this past summer when I featured these guys in the Craft Beer Spotlight. I got to tell you guys, this it's just a really nice setting up here. If you haven't been up to check them out, the beers have been solid. I know the first beer that I had from these guys was down at Piper's Pub, which led me into coming up here to check things out. Met Kyle and Brian. I met Sean shortly after that. You guys are really killing it. I love what you guys are doing in regards to beer. It's really big in regards to the whole movement here in Pittsburgh. I know we talk about that a lot. We hear a lot about that a lot, but I think you guys have been spearheading it along with a few other breweries, and it's really cool what you guys are doing. So, I mean, like I said, it's been a year, so if you guys want to just chime in, talk about your progress a little bit. Like, what's it feel like? What's been going on? What do you like about what's been happening? What do you hate? Just fly at the cuff, boys.
Thanks for the compliments. Well, things have been going really well. We're, as we mentioned right before we started off, we're getting a new bright tank in here pretty soon. So, we have seen some growth. Starting to experiment with some few new beers. Kyle will probably touch a little bit more on that, but trying to get out there into bars, expand the distribution a little bit, get the name out there.
What kind of, or have you seen any obstacles as far as getting out into the bars and stuff around town? Have you gotten any resistance or anything like that, or has it been pretty welcoming?
I mean, very welcoming. The craft beer community in Pittsburgh is extremely welcoming. A lot of the bars want to see and put local stuff on. Sometimes you start getting pushback on some prices and stuff like that on the business aspect end of things. But, in the end, it's we're a locally made craft beer that a lot more effort is being put into than a lot of other places. So, and bar owners understand that. And
so really brewed the hard way?
Jump in a boil kettle and scrub that at 180 degrees. It's pretty hard. Pretty hot.
Yeah. Besides that, I mean, pretty much every bar we approach, they're excited to put us on, and so
awesome.
Obviously you can't be you can't have that honeymoon forever. So eventually, once
Sure.
you're going to start fighting for tap handles and stuff like that. But we're approaching it as just brewing the best beer that we can, and being proud to be made here in Pittsburgh, and selling that angle of it, and just trying to get the word out.
Great.
Yeah, fire away, bro.
Oh yeah, so I mean, as we grow here in the next year, we're definitely focusing a lot on quality and coming up in the next months. Our quality has been. Excuse me.
That isn't inadvertent.
Yeah, we don't have a conflict.
The quality.
No, but our quality's been good. But as we grow, as you get bigger, quality becomes a bigger problem. Just in general, you have to make sure your product's good. So we're going to focus a lot on that this year, and also we definitely want to win GABF medals and World Beer Cup medals. So we're striving towards that. Awesome. That's one of our major goals for this year and next year and every other year to come. And yeah, we're just going to keep grinding out great beers and just keep getting you better and better products.
Through the little tagline in there.
I read that on your sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So have you guys gone out to Denver before for the GABF?
We sent 3 beers out this year, and we've been out there just as spectators beforehand. This year, one of our beers made it second round. The other 2 did not. And that just has to do with categories we submitted it in and our packaging procedures, things that we need to get better at. So we're gonna, really hone in the packaging procedures, the dates to brew to go out there. You really have to pick your brews perfectly if you want to win an IPA. Which, you guys,
it's a big competition.
You got some fun if you're going to win an IPA. But if you want to do that, you have to timeline everything perfectly, because you don't want beers getting to the judges oxidized.
Yeah, it's got to be fresh.
Especially
it's
for
got to be
our
fresh.
size, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
the bigger guys, they're
cranking out
all the time. Us, we got to stage things. So.
Yeah, so we're truly going to have to brew for competition almost, and size it up to brew those beers to win or try to win. But we'd love to, that could only help the Pittsburgh craft beer scene, and look at
Lavery and Four Seasons, and all those guys that won. 4 Seasons won this year, and that generated a lot of clout in Pittsburgh, and I just like to add to that. Everybody here at Grist House
Church
would
got
like
Best Brew Pub or something.
Yep.
A couple years ago.
And Church has done some good things over the past years. There's definitely some things that happen in Pittsburgh, but they seem more sporadic rather than consistent or continuous. So we really like to be a part of making it consistent and continuous.
Yeah,
Which would be
winning year
cool.
after year. And the beauty of having to brew for the competition like that is, we're only sending out a couple, bottles of beer, so everybody else gets to drink the stuff that we brew specifically for the competition. So.
Yeah. Very cool. So, I'm done. I got nothing left.
All right.
Well, we're 7 minutes in. I think
time to drink.
Well, just go watch that.
All right. So, go ahead.
I can say more stuff as well. We're looking to expand our barrel programs, get really good at barrel aging, I guess you could say. Barrel aging is an art. You got to learn how to blend. You have to be good at tasting what's going to blend well with other things. And obviously, Grist House needs more space. If you walk in here, you'll know that we're strapped for space. So we gotta kind of spearhead that, and we're constantly looking. And when the right deal comes across, we'll definitely try to jump on it. But we're definitely looking to expand and just basically improve everything about Grist House. We had a great first year. But as you look back and reflect on things that you did, you can really see strives for improvement. And you look at places like Trogs, places like Victory, and what they're doing with their quality, with their beers consistently every day. It's really something to strive for us smaller guys, and I think that's where we're headed, and that's where we want to go. And we're going to keep chugging along and get there eventually. We don't have quite the cash flow they do.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, anyways. But maybe a couple GABF medals and World Beer Cup medals will help that.
But the way the craft beer scene is just exploding right now. It's you're not moving forward, you're dying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all about improving and how can we make the beer better every day and every single time. Yeah. So.
Well, there's word out that a lot of craft breweries are going to move into beechwood aging. Have you guys thought about this?
Yeah, actually, pumpkin peach ales,
Nice.
saisons on beechwood, brewed the hard way. That's what we think would win a medal.
Those are the ones that get
The only
fussy.
thing,
Yeah, absolutely.
the only thing I ever remember that, other than Budweiser, that had Beechwood even involved with it was snuff or chew. The old Beechwood chew.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
I mean, I don't know anything else that's ever been used with Beechwood, so I don't understand why they're bragging
I
about
think
it.
I used to drink Budweiser while I chew around
Chew,
the campfire.
yeah.
Exactly. It's like all together, I guess.
I guess so.
Single flavor profile.
Yeah, there's so I don't think there's any coincidence that we had some friends in high school that were using Budweiser cans as spittoons.
Yep.
It just made complete sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like
unfortunately,
a
back
circle.
then we were emptying them too, which we hate to admit now, but
That is what it is.
It's like the circle of life.
yes, exactly. I did want to add something as far as coming to the brewery. you guys made, I think, a great decision by doing the food trucks and taking
yeah.
advantage of that. I know a lot of places or a lot of breweries that have kind of tried to delve into the food side of it too, and some have worked really well, and some have it's actually hindered their progress because of the regulations and things like that they have to put on the food on top of the beer, and they have a million things to do. So great decision to do that, and I'm sure that wasn't necessarily the plan, but it kind of worked out that way because you guys can stick to the beer and let the people who are good at the food stick to the food. And I was here a couple weeks, last weekend, and you guys had Berlin out there, and
Yeah.
that was a
Berlin,
that was a hell of a sandwich.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you.
They've been growing and exploding at the same time. All these breweries have been popping up too, so it's kind of
going hand
like
in
you
hand.
said. It wasn't planned. We started out doing hot dogs, like to
right.
get over
Just
the roll.
Well, some of the big ones still just stick to the basic stuff. I know Southern Tier basically it's a
That's expanded a lot.
a barbecue.
Last time.
Well,
you
before,
haven't had it, yeah.
well, no,
Yeah,
I saw the menu, but for the first
when they opened up, it was
5-6
pulled pork
years, it was
sandwiches.
pulled pork sandwiches and chips.
Yeah.
That's all they had, and that was a perfect way to do it because you're there for the beer anyway.
Yeah,
So
and to focus on the beer, and like you said, let somebody else worry about the food.
Exactly.
But, the food trucks have been a godsend because that's one less thing off our plate, and plus they just make awesome food.
yeah,
and it's a
I mean,
rotating menu.
Where the hell
so,
did we put
yeah.
a kitchen too?
They've been around.
well, you've
for-
got the meat hooks for the beef, so you can just
Bring the
run
sides, yeah.
Dry-aged Wagyu. Yeah.
but they've been around for a while. I know that probably longer than the breweries. I mean, I mean,
Oh, the
that's
food truck movement.
I mean,
It's kind of growing like the beer is.
Yeah.
It really
Food
is. I
trucks
mean,
are becoming a thing.
it's
Pittsburgh
hard to
wasn't very
talk
many
about
of
that. And, I mean, the fact that it is a perfect marriage for everybody, that they get more exposure through you guys and vice versa.
Yeah.
And they get to come up here and, again, you guys just worry about your beer.
Yeah.
And,
Well, on the
God,
food
everybody
side-
that's out there is just
Yeah.
killing.
On the
cranking
food
out
side of the
killer
thing,
food.
we'll be looking for actually once the weather breaks and everything. We're
Yeah.
planning on doing essentially a monthly pig roast. We've
sweet.
been giving our grain to a local pig farmer, Santa's Farm.
Santa's
Correct?
Heritage Pig Farm. He grows heritage breed pigs, which are a very old breed of pig. They're pretty much non-commercialized. The genetics on those range back like to the old days. So they have a nice big back fat on them. They marble beautifully, almost like a dry-aged Wagyu ribeye steak, and the meat tastes delicious. So that's who we're going to be using.
Yeah, so we're looking at probably once a month, probably on a Saturday, to do a pig roast.
You guys gonna be smoking that yourself, or is somebody coming?
Actually,
planning
I think they're going to do it for
cool.
us.
Yeah.
We're still talking to him. If we're going to do them every month, he's going to buy a roaster, and his sister's a classically trained chef, so
Nice.
she's going to actually probably do them for us.
Yeah.
Um,
And the cool thing is the pigs were, partially raised on the grain, so it's closing that circle.
Circle of
again.
life.
A little bit better than the beechwood and the chaw, but
It's a damn close second.
You can use a piece of beechwood to put them on the spit.
there you go.
Oh, man. This has just got marketing written all over it.
yeah. And for our 1-year anniversary, we'll be doing a pig roast that weekend.
What is that? That's
Memorial Day weekend
That's
this
what I
year.
got.
Yep.
So we're going to start announcing the events for that, but it'll be a pig roast, some bands,
It'll be a big
things
weekend.
like that. Yeah, it'll be a real big weekend.
have
Very cool.
some new beers coming out for it probably, or we'll have newer stuff than the last couple months before that, which will be nice. New recipes. So.
You'll have to kick the residents out of the neighborhood so there's places to park, man.
I mean, and get some live music in here down there. That was cool. I mean, I heard I missed out on the live music. I was here for the comedy show, but I think that's pretty cool too. That you guys are getting a lot of acts in here. I mean, if
try
quote
some.
unquote. Yeah, I mean what was the thought on that? I think it's a really cool idea. Is it just
They approached us. Just
Really?
Yeah.
oh, nice.
Because they know we've been doing random events before, and they just approached us like, "Hey, would you guys be willing to try this out?" And
Yeah.
we said sure. And
How are the acoustics off the fermenters?
Great.
I think
once they get it honed in,
Yeah.
there's a couple loud screeching pitches before that. Though.
Well, I mean, that sounds like it'd be great for bluegrass then, 'cause that's all that is.
Should have got a machine had to come down here.
Well, yeah.
More Mr.
Well, we tried to do that
Small.
last time they were in town, and it didn't work. But yeah, they would have probably popped a few of those.
Yeah, no doubt.
it sounds pretty decent. It looks pretty cool when they hang on lights,
Right.
reflecting off the stainless
I
steel
bet.
tanks and everything. It's worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
So when you sit on top here, if people don't realize, you look
sound
over the
travels.
brewery area from where we're sitting right now. It looks really cool to watch.
got that
man.
jerk-
It's kind of
Jurgles.
it's a reverse from a normal stage, right?
Yeah, it's
The
got that
band's really
jurgle.
high, now the
That's
band's
kind of how
low,
Jurgles is.
We're the farmers
where you
and
can
stuff
sit up
above.
top.
Yeah.
It's Cool.
Nice.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, you guys, I know you had mentioned the fact that I know you guys have been blowing up and getting into bars. How many bars have you gotten into? Because every time I talk to you, the number keeps growing. I think
Keeps growing. Right now, it's pretty much 25 steady. The ones that are extremely consistent are around 15. The other 10 are, about once a month we'll have a keg on.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's slowly trying to grow that.
Any notable consistent ones that you want to plug right now?
Yeah, definitely. Pete and everybody over at the Independent, they've been doing us solids all year. Industry's been great. Piper's Pub, Hart's been pushing us, which has been awesome. Carson Street Deli. Caliente's has been very good, both locations. They have their new place up in Hampton. Proper Pizza downtown has been having us on for quite a bit. So yeah,
Cool.
Beer Guy's been very good. Yeah,
Fuel and Fuddle.
Fuel and Fuddle, Corner Pub down in
Mount Lebo?
In Mount Lebo, yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, so all those places. What's that?
Lockdowns?
Yep.
Lockdowns.
Lockdown Robinson, and they're working out their license to be able to transport beer back and forth. So their second location on Monaco will hopefully be a little bit more consistently on out there. We were on once, but
Yeah, Chris
here in
has
the
been an
future.
activist.
Yeah, she is.
quite a while down
Yeah,
here for craft
we're actually
beer, so-
doing for Pittsburgh Craft Beer Week, the 25th. We're doing a specialty beer release there that'll only be at Bogtown for their
Awesome.
cakes and eggs in that morning. So
can never make
watch out for
that.
I was
Yeah.
at that last year. I'll be there again this year.
I can never make
awesome.
that, but it looks
So,
awesome
The
every
Bogtown
year.
Robinson location, the 25th, that cakes and eggs is going to be awesome. And then
Yeah, that was. But I started. I think I was there 7 hours that day.
Yeah.
Because we had. Well, Chris.
I don't know
and
how you remember.
Pictures. Is about all I got. Chris and I sat down because we did a tasting or a sampling the next day, and we tasted. I have pictures that are online; they're everywhere. We tasted every collaboration beer plus like 3 others, so we just had empty glasses and full glasses.
Yeah.
It was a good day. It was a lot of
week.
fun.
Since we're plugging events for Pittsburgh Craft Beer Week, the 23rd, we're doing a tap takeover over at 99 Bottles.
Nice.
Sweet. All right,
So
cool.
that's a cool spot. I really like those guys over there. They've been doing some cool stuff.
Yeah.
They recently had a big founders tap takeover.
I saw that. Yeah.
that's
Still some left over.
That's
Did I really? I was
That's
never
what
big
Heidelberg,
over it.
right? Down that area.
Carnegie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Heidelberg, yeah, I guess same area.
Yeah. Excellent. So, what else you got going for Beer Week? You're stealing all my questions before we even get to them.
It's called
Not directly
Flow.
for Beer Week. We started
Flow.
doing Firkins and Pins, like real ale beer. Starting to get into that. So we're going to try to do the Firkin Fridays, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
We start announcing some dates to do. We're going to start doing Firkin Fridays, basically pins on top of the bar to do some real ale on Friday nights. So we'll kind of announce the schedule for that here within the next couple of weeks. For Pittsburgh Craft Beer Week, we're doing the collaboration with Hop Farm and Hitchhiker. So we're still emailing back and forth on what the style of beer is going to be and everything. But I think
Pumpkin
that's going
Peach
to be
stays on.
Yeah.
aged on Beechwood.
on
Yeah.
Beechwood.
Brewed the hard way.
That's cool. I mean, what I hear is it's 8 groups of 3. I think that ended up being,
Yeah, I
or-
think so.
Or
It's
one
right
of
around
those.
there.
Something around
Yeah,
that.
something
That's-
around that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's one of
Some
the
good
Yeah.
beers coming out of that.
yeah one of the cool
And
things
it's kind
about
of a
Beer
free
Week.
for all too, so it's gonna. I think you're gonna
Yeah.
see some cool stuff. There's really no theme to it. It's already, the brewers decide what they want to brew.
So amongst the 8,
I'm so happy this has become what it has. I
And
was
it's gonna keep
on
getting better.
I was on the planning committee the first year of it, and it was such a mess because it was the first year, and everybody it literally that week came together probably in the last 2 weeks before it got there.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of fell out that way. But now it's just kind of a well-oiled machine, and it's just getting pretty cool.
yeah, there's still some kinks to work out and everything,
Sure.
but it's definitely. And I think it's starting to get geared more towards the brewers and the breweries running it a little bit more and having a lot more input,
Than
doing
the
a lot more
bars
events
and
in the
the-
bar.
Yeah, I
which
mean,
is kind of cool.
and that's the thing about it is I think everybody should have that type of that input because I mean, especially you guys making the beer and being a huge part of the scene and making it grow, should have that big part of it. So, amongst the 8 of you or the 8 groups, are you guys like in friendly competition about who can make the best beer? Or
Everybody's always in
Maybe.
friendly competition.
Yeah.
And they say no.
oh, how
Yeah.
about a fight to the death competition, like Royal Rumble style? Or,
I don't-
We
I
talking Mad Max, 2 men enter, 1 man leave,
Yeah.
Thunderdome style.
Or
Yeah.
are we talking Angry Man where Brick gets to try it? I don't know. We'll see.
We could if we could do that after the Oyster Fest down in Homestead.
Oh, dude,
Who does? Jerry will look that up, man, because
Yeah.
he told me someone getting wrestling guys out there. That'd be awesome.
Trident chucking contest.
Are you guys in contact with the other groups about so you guys don't kind of get close to the same beer? Or?
Yeah. I mean, whenever we decide what we're gonna do, everybody's kind of
throwing
report
it.
back to the email thread, so we're not making 8 IPAs or 8 pumpkin peach saisons.
The world needs
That
a
is the
pumpkin
first
peach
thought.
It does,
IPA.
but yeah.
Or a pumpkin peach IPA. I mean, if someone stumbles upon that.
Oh,
So I don't
That'd be interesting.
I don't know.
Say,
Right?
pop it up.
The interesting
Right
one is
away.
the pumpkin.
But yeah.
or the peach.
No. They do, well, they do that Ballast Point. They do it at Caliente, the Ballast Point with the peach firkin.
Oh, he did do that, yeah.
And I wasn't there for it, but I imagine it probably tastes wonderful.
Yeah. And shout out to
Done
Caliente
right, yeah.
for the Fathead Top Juju Firkin last night.
Well,
That was knee bending. I had to sit down. I was worried about ruining my
is that why
pants.
you're looking a little
What-
rough today?
Yeah,
I know they were. I know they
started
were
smoking.
think-
It's ridiculous.
Did they do anything special with it, or was it just straight
Yeah,
up?
they double dry hopped it, mosaic and citra hops.
Because it's not hoppy enough, right?
Right.
Well, do you see that extra
man.
little bit?
Yeah, I mean every little bit helps when it comes to that.
You can.
That makes these winter months more bearable.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So we'd probably be remiss if we didn't make a third straight podcast talking about this Budweiser BS. You guys started talking about it yet?
I don't really think I've talked
Talk,
about
I
it.
don't really. Yeah.
Well, I know you can-
People have asked about it, but it's kind of like.
Joke
Some
about
of
it.
yeah.
the, some Asa and Andy were on the news talking about it. I mean, if you guys, what do you guys think about that crap? I mean, we've talked about
Was
it
it
ad
on your
nauseam
radar?
at this point, but
We saw it
We saw it live, yeah.
so were you guys all together when it was on?
Yeah.
So what was the reaction in the room?
We just
Because-
kind of looked at each other. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it was different than mine.
Well, I
started
got
stealing
lost
my
his
television.
mind. Yeah, he lost his.
Oh,
we
really? I was
were in the
pissed
same.
off.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I missed the first like 3 seconds of it, and then all I saw was
That's the
with
big
dark.
Budweiser suck.
Yeah,
That's
but what's the guy holding the dark beer? And,
like analyzing it or
analyze it. I'm
whatever.
like, when the fuck did Budweiser start making dark beers? Like,
Yeah, correction.
Yeah.
It was the hipster that was
the
holding it.
hipster. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
they're
making fun of
And
it.
after that,
And
But
like-
yeah, I was immediately just angry when,
Yeah.
when they basically were like talking about being proud to be macro. I was just like,
Yeah.
I immediately knew where they were going with it, and I was like, oh my god! I go, they're doing this, and then by the end of it, my sentiment was like the same as every other craft beer company out there right now, talking about, well, if it's not a big deal and you're not worried about it, and it's junk, why are you mentioning it in your commercial?
See, I think it's comical that someone that makes, I don't know, $400 billion a year is actually getting scared of
They're-
people like
they're
us,
sweating
which is,
it.
I
Well, it should make you feel good.
It's
You're
your
like, you're like
almost.
you're on their radar now. Like,
Yeah,
You're onto something.
The most
Well,
comical
yeah.
part of it is they own a company, Elysian, that makes a pumpkin peach ale, which is hysterical.
Yeah.
So it was just not well thought out, obviously by them, and also comical because they're scared. I mean,
Well-
they see their market dwindling day by day.
And-
What's
and
funny,
now
the
it's-
chart that came out a couple days after that actually showed the craft beer barrelage sales compared to the Budweiser barrelage sales, and they actually met up at the end of 2014. And then, 4 weeks later, they come out with that commercial.
Right.
It's
Yeah, they're-
probably a little bit of a
they're worried a little
coincidence,
bit.
but
That
I mean,
was-
it was right dead nuts. Like there was how many barrels of craft beer have been sold compared to how many barrels of Budweiser
Because
have
they
been sold.
sell
Finally
theirs in
met up.
bottles
Yeah.
and cans. And,
So,
Well, that was the thing that I didn't really knock him for the whole Elysian thing because I had a feeling that commercial was already done before that Elysian deal closed. Plus, I mean, you got to figure that the people putting that whole deal together were probably ignorant to the fact that there was the brewery they were purchasing.
That's an ad
made
company.
that beer.
That's an
yeah.
ad
I mean, is what it is, but
it's just funny that it worked
Yeah,
out that
irony
way.
still.
The ironies, yeah.
Well, and,
It's so funny.
And
Yeah.
since then, they've been actually actively pursuing more craft beer companies. They went after Cigar City.
Yeah, I heard. I saw that article. a
They
couple
went
days
after
ago.
another one down in Florida. They actually before the
and that's the thing. I think a lot of that was probably happening. It didn't just.
well, it has
just
been.
became
Goose Island was their
public
big
now.
get. That was
Yeah,
a huge
yeah,
get for them.
yeah.
But as much as I hate it, and I won't drink their beer now because of it, because I know where the money's going. At least they kept them Goose Island. At least it's not. They didn't like a lot of them. They buy them and shut them down.
Yeah.
They buy them and shut them down and just kind of lay waste to it. But Goose Island, they at least kept Goose Island.
Well, I think they're starting to see the viability of the business, though. They're not buying any now and shutting them down. Goose
Yeah.
Island was one of the first acquisitions that they didn't shut down, but every acquisition they have now, they plan on growing that business and taking market. That's their
Yet they have a commercial saying it's stupid.
yeah.
But that's
they
a
don't even-
multinational company.
yeah.
You have different brands, and the
Well,
different
and
brands
that's
organize
what
that.
happens.
They're
Yeah.
trying
They
to
make
already
$400
fool the
billion
public
a year.
into thinking that, well, Budweiser's still Budweiser and we hate craft beer, we just assume that you're not going to know that we bought all these other companies and we're selling their beer now.
Yeah, but the big thing, like Kyle said,
don't know. Really.
Well, no,
Yeah.
because that's. I mean, I was down at my old job. We went on like a little bar crawl. If you guys have seen that little pedal bike or pedal bar thing that goes through the south side, we did that. Yeah, we ended up at the what is it, the White Eagle. Just by the girl that was the tour guide, her parents owned the bar, so we were
It's
there.
like the only dive bar.
And
in
we were,
South
no, there was a Bud Light rep or a Budweiser rep or whatever there. And I went in there. I just went in to do a shot, and he was trying to. Well, what you want to buy a Bud Light? Absolutely not. I have no idea why. No, I mean,
You couldn't even give me one.
he's like, well, why not? I was like, I just don't drink that kind of beer. I wasn't being a jerk. I was just saying I just don't drink that kind of beer. Well, why not?
Snobby hipster.
Apparently, I was. But anyway, I just told him flat out. I was like, I'm sorry. I love craft beer. It's nothing personal against you, but I just don't drink that kind of beer. He goes, well, how would you like a shock top? I was like, I absolutely
That
would,
was-
because
that
I
was
know
his
that you
bridge.
own that too. And he goes, oh, well, I got nothing. Go do your shot. Yeah, that was it.
We're out of
I'm the
Amber
next
Box.
person.
I mean, I'm not going to knock Amberbach. That was our big college beer because that was like the closest
not-
thing to
it's
any
not
beer was good beer when we were in college. But
terrible.
nevertheless, it's just that type of mentality, and those guys have their job to do. I completely get it, but I kind of feel that same way. Just out of principle, I'm just if I'm going to drink a beer, I'd rather drink something that I'm going to enjoy versus something that is watered down,
It's a
or
means to an end.
mass-produced, or highly advertised, whatever.
Yeah, I think that the tide definitely the way market share has grown with craft beer is heading that way, and like Kyle said, it's comical, and the way I kind of view it is the fact that it's not going to affect us very deeply right now, right? As long as we continue to make the best beer that we can, we focus on the markets that we're in, we focus on local, and especially in Pittsburgh, people love local stuff here. And so, a lot of the bigger guys, they're the ones who are out there going to fight that battle on the front lines because they're the ones who are distributing nationally. Sierra Nevada,
They gotta get on the trucks.
They got to get on the trucks. They got to be out there.
Yeah.
Right now, we're small enough, those bigger guys can fight that battle. We're going to focus on brewing the best beer that we can for the people around here, and then as we grow, maybe in the future, that will be a battle we'll have to fight. But right now, it's just kind of a death kneel from
You're enjoying not having to fight that battle.
Yeah, there's already other people on the front lines doing that for us. And so,
Yeah, and hopefully they at least get to a point where they somewhat win that battle.
The trend's already going that way. There's
Right.
right now there's just so much momentum behind it. The year-over-year growth sales. I mean, it may plateau a hair, but beer consumption, they always say, is down in the United States, but it's down on macro brands, right? And so craft beer is still continuing to grow. Double-digit growth may not be sustainable forever, but that growth is going to continue.
Right.
And as older generations pass away who grew up on this style of beer, and you have now 21 to 30-year-olds who have never actually tried Bud Light or Budweiser or
I can't
Anheuser-Busch
imagine
product.
being in college and having this available.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
All those beer
be
pong
34 years
tournaments,
old right
we'd all
now.
be dead.
My liver would have
Well, you
tapped
might
out
make a
so
series
long
of
ago.
beers.
No, it's crazy, and then you got the brewing companies are going bi-coastal now. I know.
Second locations.
Right, and I think I read something, or we had a discussion, and I can't remember what it was, about Virginia having really strict policy about craft beer. Like they're really stringent on it, and the politicians are basically in InBev's pocket and that type of thing. And ironically, Stone goes, "Guess what? We're building ours, and I think they're gonna fight the fight. They're gonna go in and they're gonna say, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to open this up in Virginia and on the East Coast, and hopefully it works out for them."
After they opened in Europe after a Kickstarter campaign.
Right. Yeah, there wasn't. Was it Germany?
Is that where it was?
Yeah, Germany.
But the guys that I've met Greg before, the
Coke.
co-founder, and he's one of the coolest dudes. I drank a couple beers with him, nicest guy, and just and like you guys, just so happy to be doing what he's doing. And he's obviously gotten to the point where he can relax now a little bit, but he doesn't seem like a guy who's the head of a company the size that he is.
Yeah, and that's one thing I think is a big commonality with everything I've seen with everybody I've talked to in the Pittsburgh market is everybody's very humble, very forward in regards to talking about how they make their beer, what they're doing with it, what's coming next. No one's really closed off or standoffish about now. I'm not going to open up my doors to you. I mean, and I know you guys have been awesome for me in regards to coming up here and shooting videos or doing whatever for all the things that I've been doing to help promote beer in Pittsburgh. So
Take note, Helltown.
Helltown, I love those guys. And actually that's one place that
I got to talk to Sean again and see.
I want to see more of those guys because I love their beer. That's one thing. We should probably talk about getting a podcast set up with those guys. I'd love to sit down and talk
I think
about
Sean
it.
would be open to it.
Yeah, we'll have to do that in the future. But what's next for you guys? What's the big? What are you doing tonight? I mean,
Actually, here's a better question. I don't know when you wanted to get to it.
oh, we're going to definitely talk about that. for
Okay.
sure.
Did you want to do that now?
Yeah,
or
we can. I
since
mean,
we're-
this is one of the cool things. I mean, I wanted to ask about it because I don't fully understand it, but I think it's pretty cool. I've had some people kind of give me a little bit of info on it, but the whole buy your friend a beer program. I think that's pretty unique to you guys, right? I don't think anybody else is doing this.
In the
Is
area,
that-
no one is. So, kind of the short and dirty backstory behind it is my sister lives out in Chicago, and I was out there visiting her, and we were jumping around breweries like I tend to do whenever I'm in a new area or a different city. And so, she took me out to a brewery called Solemn Oath, which is blowing up in
Sounds like
the
a great
Chicago
name,
area.
too.
Yeah, awesome place. Actually, their setup is very similar to ours. Kind of, you walk in, bar, can see the entire brewery, no glass, just everything open. And when I was in there, they had buy your friend a beer was the whole thing. And I was shooting the shit, talking to their brewers and one of the owners, and I was like, that is an amazing idea. I was like, I'm going to steal that from my brewery. And they, like most people in the craft beer industry, were like,
Yeah,
go for it. And so we kind of renamed it as Buy Your Beer a Friend, but essentially the premise behind it is that if you're sitting here enjoying a beer, or you think that one of your buddies should come in and check out Grist House, then they can. You're sitting
You
here.
get a free
You
beer
can buy
somewhere.
them. You can buy them a beer, a growler, a flight, whatever you want to do.
From the looks of it, there's more than buy a friend a beer. There's buy a friend a hangover.
Yeah.
$50, $27, $20.
Now it's turning like a gift card.
Six
program.
buy your
Yeah,
friend,
it's a
buy your
little bit,
friend
yeah.
the whole brewery.
Oh yeah.
It's coming.
That's
So,
pretty.
no,
That's
I'll
pretty
seriously
awesome.
go on that board.
And what a great marketing tool as
Yeah.
well to get people who wouldn't normally come to come. Hey, you got $25 sitting here.
Yeah. Well,
Come
that's
down and have a few beers.
That's the whole thing. Be an ambassador for good local craft beer. So
100%, that's awesome.
And it's based in that old English tradition of buying rounds. And so you go in for a drinking session, and everybody has to buy a round before you're able to leave. And so if your buddy's not there who's really into craft beer, you can buy him his next round. So when he comes in, he has a beer to start his night off with.
So he just comes in and says, "Hey, so and so bought me
Yeah,
a beer."
so we have a card that gets filled out, and we give that to you to give to your buddy, and they can then bring that back in. Or,
So your gift card.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah,
or
that's
I mean, if
awesome.
they don't have the card, no worries. Just be able to produce ID that shows that you are who you say you are, and
That's great.
we'll give you your beer.
Very cool.
It's a great idea. Love it.
Good. So one thing I'm going to mention now, before we just talk about some random stuff, I'm sure to wrap up the show, but coming up in March, or beginning of March, I'm going to be doing a feature on the Pittsburgh Craft Beer Network blog called Pittsburgh Beer of the Month. And congratulations, guys. You guys are going to be featured.
Sweet.
Boom.
Nice.
That's why we set this up. I
Yeah.
wanted to tell you in person. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you that through a text message. That just wouldn't have had the same effect. I wanted to see the reaction on your faces.
Oh,
That's
it's,
fantastic.
smiles
So they can
all
see our
around.
faces.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it
see,
doesn't
But that
translate to
whole-
the radio.
Well, the lighting in here is bad without the lighting like we're doing it, so we can't do that. So this is basically going to talk about a local craft beer in Pittsburgh from the many number of great craft brewers that are putting out some good stuff. We're going to start here at Grist House. We're probably going to kick things off with their new IPA, so we'll wait until that's actually ready to rock for you guys, and it'll be fun. So it's going to be a good chance for you it'll be a good chance to get to know one of the beers before you even come taste it, and then it's going to hopefully bring you guys in to check out everything else these guys are doing, and then going forward, all the other brewers that are doing this are going to get on board and participate. It's going to be a lot of fun. So look for Grist House and the Pittsburgh Beer of the Month right at the beginning of March. And
As they say in the music industry, when will that IPA be dropping?
It'll be about 2 weeks from Friday.
Nice.
So
Soon.
I'm not good with
Soon
those
is good.
numbers.
Yeah, soon.
Every day's the same to me. I don't even look at dates anymore. So 2 weeks from Friday.
All right, so I know Cam Slap Red. This is, you guys do this year round, right?
That's one of our
Yeah,
year.
that's what I had. in
That's
my-
our flagship.
Yeah, that's what I had in my glass tonight. That was actually the first one I had from you guys. Paired it with some good food in the past. It's just a very solid beer, or a more hoppy red. That was kind of the idea you were going with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a red IPA.
Yeah, and Master of the Galaxy.
Yes.
I think the first. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was. Well, when we were at Piper's one night, you guys had it on cast. That was insane. But I think I had texted him and said, I have always had Unearthly pretty high on the Imperial list, and I said that you want to find a beer that rivals it locally. I think I found it.
Well, and this is hoppier than Unearthly too. Unearthly's got more of a multi taste, and Imperials that are hoppy are crazy to me. It's funny because most of them aren't. As soon as you go to Imperial, the malts come out and it's just higher alcohol, and you can smell the alcohol and that type of thing. But this, and we were just talking about Hop Juju before, and Green Flash's Imperial. You guys have captured a with the doubles, much more of that hop flavor than just going, oh, it smells like a shot of whiskey. When you put it, as soon as you put it to your nose, that's all you can smell is that alcohol versus the hops that are kind of punching in the face. And that's what I love about this beer.
Thanks.
Nice. Thank you.
Very cool. So
Well, we're at 36 minutes, dude.
what as is? I mean, anything anything random to talk about tonight? We wouldn't be doing
Other
it
than the way you're wearing
audience.
your hat and look like an elf.
Yeah, you guys,
That's
should
a
see
pretty
this.
solid elf.
Like that?
Yeah.
See,
Wanna make
I'm
sure
a
I put
heater.
ears
Please put it over your ears.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, well, there we go. Did you guys watch the SNL 40th?
Oh,
Actually, no.
I actually did not get a chance to.
I want to watch it. I just haven't got a chance to yet.
You have a DVR though?
There's a
Yeah,
good chance
there
you
you
know,
go,
but I'm
yeah.
sure the
It'll be on Hulu or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
The internet, you can always
Yeah.
find anything on there.
Well, we didn't go anywhere with that, so.
That's that was a good piece of television. 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I would have done that on my own
So you
podcast.
watched it? Was it any good?
I loved it.
It was good.
Oh, really?
I loved it. Yeah, they did a Jeopardy.
Even
bit.
with Miley
I saw
Cyrus.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Here's what I will say about Miley Cyrus. Her performance was awesome.
Really?
Yes, she sounded great. She looked great.
Must be
And you
off
also
the
She's
drugs.
still crazy.
I mean, and you have to realize
She's
that
still crazy, but
You learned that in drug school?
there was also a performance by Kanye West that just brought everybody else up.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
he sucks.
well, following that performance, there was they did a Wayne's World bit,
Nice.
and most of that bit was spent telling Kanye to stay in
Mike
his
Myers
seat.
and originally did it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they did a
Danny
Jeopardy
Carvin,
bit.
yeah, they had a lot of the originals.
The Jeopardy skit was so funny. Not only for nostalgic reasons, it was just funny anyway. But they had
that's still my
obviously
favorite of all time.
Will Ferrell back as Trebek.
Yeah.
They had Connery with Daryl
Daryl
Hammond.
Hammond.
They had, I can't remember the girl's name. It's one of the new girls on the show.
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon. She was
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber,
Nice.
and actually the one that stole the show for me was Alec Baldwin as Tony Bennett, and he kept taking the buzzer and holding it up to his face like it's a microphone every time he talked, and he had like a prosthetic nose. He looked just like him,
Nice.
and then all of a sudden the camera would like flip away and flip back, and all of a sudden instead of Bieber there, it was Jim Carrey as Matthew McConaughey from the Lincoln commercials. And he's sitting there with the buzzer just like rubbing it like this, like he does on his hands, and he's talking to like in that voice. And then all of a sudden Burt Reynolds, Norm Macdonald comes out.
Nice.
It was awesome. You know, you
I
get
did
that.
see the Who Reads from
Horreds.
Horreds, yes.
That was what was
And the tits now.
That to me was the funniest part about that whole scene, because as soon as I saw Connery on there, I'm like, well, I know he's going to try to tear apart.
You were
the
trying to
candidate.
figure out which
I was
one
trying to
to
figure out which one it was. I couldn't do it. I mean, it's like actually, it's like, how are you going to get anything out of any of those?
category is Who Reads. Who Reads as I'll take Horads.
And then let's see, there was Eddie Murphy was back for the first time in 30 years.
Yeah.
And he contributed nothing.
Yeah,
it was
that
awkward
was
and weird.
Well, that
and-
was the thing when they led into Eddie Murphy coming out. I really thought they were going to talk about, or they were going to show some of his old skits, because they were.
Well, they did, but they didn't
Groundbreaking,
put him in a
yeah.
new bit. They should have put him in a new bit.
Yeah.
And they didn't. He just came out and basically was like,
Well, no,
thanks
I
for
mean-
having me. I'll see you.
But that part when Eddie Murphy came out, I thought that would lead into some full skits from
Nah.
flashing back versus just small clips that they had. But that is,
And actually, basically the same thing happened with Chevy Chase. He came out and
Because he was hammered.
well, I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is. I don't know if he's messed up in the head or he's on drugs or what he is. But he's 71 years old. He's blown up like a balloon, and he's hated at SNL. He's only there because of who he is. So that was kind of an awkward thing. And Sherry O'Terry wasn't even on camera.
No.
Oddly enough. But guess who was? Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
She
of
got
course.
into a bit, but
Californians?
Oh.
Californians. I love the Californians.
well, the bit was stupid. It was basically just a way to get like 10 celebrities on stage at the same time. But Bradley Cooper did make out with Betty White.
Betty White,
that
that's
was,
solid.
Lucky
that
man.
was good.
Older than sliced bread. That's what Betty White is.
Yes, and she absolutely is.
91 years young, right? Actually, that's where they said she was at 91.
I think she's 93.
93.
And she's still like
Making out with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, really cool.
Good for her.
yeah, she just made me feel
Bradley Cooper?
Some
sexy dude?
You know what I'm talking about.
Make your own joke yourself. Right?
at that point you're just
It's all about
if you're making out with Bradley Cooper, you're above ground at 93, so that's probably a plus.
So you guys are going to need to watch it now. I mean, this is a full,
Yeah.
you get a full recap.
Yeah, no, you do.
You did such a good job describing it.
And the Steve Martin part was good up until a point to where you realized it was just a way to get a bunch of people on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know why Peyton Manning was there. Really, he was in. He did the
He was one of the
episode.
sports guys.
Right, and his contribution was awful.
That's
Really
a
was.
Much like it was.
it's
for
a
the
good-
Steelers.
he's a good-
Peyton Manning's awesome.
But they did replay the one bit where he was playing football with the
Throwing
kids.
football
He
kids.
tagged that kid
Back in a Porta John.
dropped an F-bomb. That part was good, but his actual contribution to the new show was he might as well not even have been there. But it was definitely worth watching if you guys haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, check it out.
Awesome.
I think it's on demand.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna pump that thing for a while, but
I didn't realize it was on Sunday for being a Saturday Night Live show.
right. Well,
why they
who's
consider
who's getting 3.5 hours of television on
Stay up
Saturday
till
night?
2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people were out at Grist House on Saturday night.
They
so
were, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to be watching SNL.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Point.
Yeah.
Well, on Saturday night was what's it called?
Valentine's Day.
Day.
Right.
Yeah, that'd probably be another reason.
Yeah.
I don't celebrate that though.
Neither do I actually. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in no Valentine's
That's
Day.
awful.
Commercial
It is.
holiday.
Commercial
Absolutely.
holiday, Hallmark holiday. I don't believe in Hallmark holiday.
Doesn't benefit the men at all either. Steak and BJ getting days coming. Guess who's going to get nothing for that?
Well, truth.
Yes.
Anyway. All right, so you guys have got a show coming up this weekend, right? Here at the brewery?
Yeah. We have
Todd Knapp, right?
Todd Knapp.
Yeah.
Todd Knapp coming up.
Yep.
Glad you know.
I mean, one of us had to do our homework on this.
Somebody had to be right.
So get up here for that on Saturday night,
All
starting
live
at, I
entertainment.
believe, at
It's fun.
7 o'clock. But get up here. You guys got
Yeah.
hours all day on Saturday, right?
Yeah, yeah,
2 to 10.
Very cool. All right, anything else to...
What are the hours all week so people know?
yeah, fire 'em out.
Thursday, Friday, 5 to 10, Saturday, 2 to 10, and Sunday, 2 to 6.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
Get down here and get some good beer.
Yeah, guys,
Food
every
trucks
day.
are here.
I know we completely messed up production with getting you guys to sit down with us here for the last 45
And then we
minutes.
home.
Yeah.
Just for
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Grinding,
That
out,
IPA might
grinding,
take another week.
grinding out great beers came to a complete halt. It sucks. But in all seriousness, thanks for taking the time to sit down with us and talk about some beer. Share a couple good beers with us as well. For all you guys out there in podcast land, if you haven't been down to Grist House here in Millville, make sure you check them out immediately. You can learn more about them at gristhousebrewing.com or on Twitter at gristhouse. And Facebook.com/GristHouseBrewing is the Facebook page as well.
Correct.
Check them out, and we're looking forward to rolling back with you guys next week. We'll see if we have anything more fun that we can cook up. And Jason, anything to add to wrap us up?
At JCP Collins on Twitter.
If you haven't followed his Twitter account yet, he's plugging this thing hard, so make sure you do this as soon as possible.
How many
So,
followers you up to?
5,300 or something like that.
I was gonna say 50.
I've
that's what I thought he was too.
we've been on there for a long time. I've been on there for 6 years now. So
Nice.
it's taken a while just to
When
get
it
to
was
that. Right. There's only a few million of us back then.
Yeah, that's a story about in and of itself,
Yes.
about how that was all started. But anyway, again, thanks for sitting down, guys. And again, this has been over a couple of beers. Thanks for sitting down with us and drinking a few, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Cheers, guys.
Later.